It's the holidays, and my home is command central for all the family festivities, which would normally stress me out, but this year I've got Bob's Discount Furniture. Bob's makes it super easy to host. They've got extendable dining sets for all your surprise guests, sofas with pop-up sleepers, and hidden storage. That way, people have a comfy place to sleep and a convenient place to hide their bedding when the living room needs to be, a living room during the day. Not to mention, Bob's is great for gifting. Like, I can actually afford to surprise my kids with the bunk bed that they've been begging for. That great. Plus, they've got power reclining sofas for just $9.99. And smaller gifts like decor and fun accent pieces. I might even treat myself with a Consumer Reports recommended mattress and sleep until the new year. For happy hosting and great gifting, holiday the Bob's way at Bob's Discount Furniture.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
NBC's regular daytime programs will return tomorrow. Today, we celebrate the beginning of the holiday season with Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, what a day in Dallas. This sunny Thanksgiving.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Thanksgiving on Melmac wasn't called Thanksgiving.
Here's a leg here and a leg here and a leg here.
Hello, friends. It's that special time of year when we all come together as one and celebrate family, friendship. Yes, it's the Heed the Call Thanksgiving special. Who's Sitting at the Table 2025. Dan Hanzus here with Marc Sessler, Conor Orr, Justin Graver on the ones and twos, all of us wearing our Thanksgiving Thursday best. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great. What a celebratory time of year, and really a signature event. And that beautiful intro there made me feel something. There was some nostalgia attached to that. Just a wonderful way to kick off the show.
Yes, Conor.
Well, you said to wear the best thing that you had, and I was just explaining to Mark, like, in order to get down here, I had to put the baby down, put the kids in front of like the right movie. And the hardest part of this was finding a sweater that I thought was nice enough to come on the program. And all of you look like you just bought and sold drugs. So I don't know what's going on.
What's that supposed to mean? What is the meaning of that? Sessler's wearing his hot white sweater. He doesn't wear that often. It's a special occasion.
Right.
This is a button-up shirt. You know, when you make that mistake, when you buy a shirt and you liked it when you bought it, and then after I wore it once, I was like, why did I buy an orange shirt? Like, this is a stupid looking shirt. And now it stays in the closet because it was kind of expensive. And then I was like, well, it's autumnal, and it comes out for, maybe an October situation. We go to an Oktoberfest, maybe Thanksgiving. So it was all well thought out. Justin looks like he's the Big Lebowski. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
He's the hardest to defend.
Justin went to the wall here for this.
What are we talking about? I'm wearing a nice brown is an autumn color sweater with a little cardigan that has like little flowery leaf type.
I mean, to Conor's point, Dan, if I recall, the text said, "Go dig out a sweater, each of you." And so
Sure.
you did go. It was a little bit of an end around here on your part. I think what you're wearing is very Thanksgiving.
Do we have to do this? I mean, you were the guy that didn't even remember us talking about the Broncos as a team of HTC. I doubt you're going to recall exactly what the text was.
I do recall the Broncos thing. That was more your
all right, let's
that's
see.
been more your campaign. That's for another day.
Let's see. Men, ellipses. If you have a nice Thanksgiving shirt / sweater to wear, that would be nice. So stick it up your old keister. Happy Thanksgiving to you. All right. And it wouldn't be this great tradition. And this was I got to be real, launching this show as a humble independent podcast. The first year is a scary and challenging and exhilarating in some ways time to try to find your feet and try to achieve full flight and give the people what they want and heed the call coming after on the heels of the ATN era. It was this episode 1 year ago, the Thanksgiving table episode, where I said, okay, I see this. And the main reason that happened is the fourth person or the fifth person that will join us to decide who will be at the table. Let's welcome him in. I think you know who I'm talking about. Maybe the most important figure in NFL media when it comes to this particular holiday, Dave Dameshek. I think that's Dave. Oh, look at that. What a reveal.
I want more stuffing. I want stuffing on every menu 365. Listen, I didn't enjoy the acrimony that opened this show. Let's just go around the wheel very quickly.
Sure.
Marc Sessler appears to be involved in a remake of Downhill Racer too soon after the passing of Bob Redford. Hanzus looks like he's wearing a picnic blanket. And extra, Conor is ready to talk about the bird. Only Justin Graver has risen to the occasion with that tremendous open.
Right.
And by the way, I'm wearing a sweater. So
no, Dave's like, oh man, Gen X, we're the best generation. We're slackers. Like, okay, cool, we get it. Nice, cool sweater and
it's
a hat.
It's a sweater. It's a sweater. You don't
Your
want
generation is so disaffected.
All right, no hat. If you don't want a hat, Conor Orr takes the award for best hat. Why would I try to compete? But then again, Dan, you always win for better hair at this point.
Well, thanks.
Back in my days, though, back in my prime, I had a mane.
You're holding up very well, Dave, and that light reveal, and check it out on YouTube. Smash the subscribe. Remember, we're trying to get to 30K, and when that happens,
hit that button.
The blood feud between Conor Orr and Sean Payton, the story that Conor's been sitting on since we started this show, will be revealed. The 30K challenge. Why do they hate each other? But you know what? And I don't want to. You're right, Dave. I don't want to have acrimony, but isn't that also this time of year authentic? Because when you put people together under the same roof, especially in these times, Dave, where everything seems so fractured and divided, that's going to come out a little bit. But hopefully you balance that bitter with the sweet.
Well, yeah, I agree, and that's why I got drunk beforehand. But also, we can try and pretend there's no acrimony, but as we've seen multiple times this holiday season already, football players are spitting on each other. I know Conor Orr's cool with that, but still. I saw the piece, Orr. I saw it. Enabler.
It amazes me that everybody here is more okay with getting their spinal cords injured, getting punched in the face, or getting their legs broken, and inhibiting their ability to take care of their family than to get a little bit of spit on them. Like, that's insane to me. I can't believe it.
I'm
That's
not
a Conor
surprised
take.
this is your take.
What? Like, it's perfect. All right, very quickly, okay?
Real quick. We got a lot to get to, Conor. Go ahead.
Jamar Chase got a 1-game suspension, okay, for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Also, someone who got a 1-game suspension, Nigel Bradham of the Eagles, was unhappy with the speed of service at the hotel that he was at, so he close fist punched the bellhop in the face and could have killed him. And so we're saying that like a little extra OxyClean on a jersey is equivalent to attempted murder? Okay.
I don't even know how to answer any of this. This is insane. But
it's a bulletproof tape. That's why.
There's
a
something.
bellhop.
And that's a crazy story. I'm going to look that up after the show. But there is a sense of disrespect. Like if you were watching WWF and Jake the Snake did that to Macho Man, Vince McMahon would go, "That is a disgusting act." Like there's something disrespectful about it. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. It's not just about the saliva itself.
It's a lack of class. Yes, dignity.
Yeah. It's good to have Vince McMahon as the arbiter of what's appropriate in this in any situation. But I'm just gonna close the loop with this. Like, why aren't we more outraged about, like, for example, Bountygate? Like, this is a guy trying to injure another player and ruin his career and garnish his wages.
Weren't we not as a collective pretty outraged about that? I mean, I recall there being a lot of
I feel like the spitting has been equal.
We're butter knifing this one a little bit. It's a classic Conor butter knife here. The equivocation. All right. But okay, cool. Check out Conor. Everything he writes at SI is gold. And he's going to be at the table. We're all going to be at the table. And if you missed last year's episode, what we're doing here, we are looking at this 2025 NFL season so far as we enter week 12, just a week away from the real Thanksgiving. And we're going to build out a table of NFL figures that we think really will make the holiday sing. And I'll track the names, and we're also going to draw it right now. And we'll figure out where everyone's sitting, who's at the head of the table. Is there a kids table? I don't know. We'll figure it all out. But we're going to do 3 each. Is 12. And let's get into it. Mark, why don't you get us going? Is that a smart idea? Are you want to bat lead off here?
I don't know if it's a smart idea, but I accept the challenge.
All right, go ahead. Get us going.
I don't think that any women were involved in last year's cast and crew, if I recall. We somehow invited Justin Tucker, so that's on our record. But I think someone that's created quite a stir.
We'll edit that out of the last year's show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Created a stir, I think, and it's proven to show results. I'm inviting Carly Ursay-Gordon to the table because I think she brings some energy. She's a little fiery. Let's get some drinks in her and just see what sort of, whatever her show would be, I want to be there for it. So that's the person I'm picking as my number one.
God, I love it, Mark. Can I just say that she was on my list too, but I was going to lay out because I know that Carly is someone that you connect with. I'm going to go as far as saying that, and this might get me on the cover of Feminist of the Week for an unprecedented 5th time this season, but I think Carly sits at the head of the table. She's going to say grace. Remember, Andy Reid was last year. This is the person that will cut the bird. She'll drink 4 glasses of wine. She'll absolutely drive conversation. She's capable, confident, not afraid to roll up her sleeves and do the dirty work. Screw the patriarchy. Meet your daddy. It's the cult CEO. And yes, Mark, you can sit next to her. Just be cool.
I feel good that I didn't disappoint you with that pick. That honestly feels good. So
I love that pick. Anybody else thoughts on Carly? And are you okay with her at the head of the table? We can move it. We have time. We're not going to let anybody know in real time. We'll get the list settled and the table settled and then send out the mass text.
I would just like to wait out declaring it's your family meal, but I'd rather wait out to see who deserves head of the table.
Okay.
If you want to establish that right out of the gate,
I'm going to nominate her. How about that? Is that fair?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Great. All right. That's great. Okay. So we'll go next. This one's
and by the way, imagine the less than traditional path that led them to the now superstar named Indiana Jones. That alone will make her a fascinating table mate for Thanksgiving and to hear. How did you arrive at this? Everybody else thought he was done except you. Explain. That'll be fun.
And I think they had a clip coming out of a commercial break. They played in Munich, I believe, and she was at a local bar there in Deutschland just pouring drafts and handed them out to the people. I think she'd be fun company. It all kind of lines up. Now
she did the thing where she bought the entire bar beer. I mean, she's
her dad
rich.
was a famous raconteur. I think it's in her, right? So feeling really good about that one. Next one, Dave. This one's for you. I love you, Dave. You know how important you are to us. You are the pod father. Forget about Simmons. It's Dameshek. Go
Simmons
do the
who?
research. Exactly. Do the research, and that the Dameshek pod family tree dwarfs Bill Walsh or any of these other pricks. I mean, this is this is straight respect to Dave. And check out.
Yeah, but different than Bill Walsh and all the other people you might invoke here. They're all in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I'm sitting in a spare room.
You have to retire
hot and fast because of these lights.
You have to retire or die, and then the 5-year period will toll, and you'll get in. I think you will.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, shout out to Dave, and as a result, you need a fun uncle at these proceedings, and I got somebody who's jovial. He's got a ton of stories. If you can remember him, he's getting a little forgetful, it seems. He's pure Americana. That's what this is all about. He's going to be half in the bag before he even gets to the house. Shek is going to be adorable around him. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Bradshaw.
Oh,
come on down.
Oh, surprised me there.
I mean,
I didn't know where we were going.
I mean,
there.
Terry rolls in. Terry's going to be wearing, like a flannel shirt with a vest over it, his little cap. And this guy, to me, he evokes everything that Thanksgiving in America is. And another guy, if he can remember them, great stories. Shek.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. With a sprinkling, and frankly, I don't mean to derail. I have had more than enough of him going on and on decades now after he retired about how it turns out he didn't really like Chuck Noll. No one else on the team associated with Chuck Noll can provide any confirmation of Terry Bradshaw's apparent emotional abuse at the hands of Chuck Noll, but he goes on and on about that. But yes, I agree with you. One of the great thrills I ever had was I did a bit on the Kimmel Show way back, in which I played the worst comedian of all. It was a real reach for me, as you can imagine. I played the worst stand-up comedian in the world, and I intentionally told terrible jokes that derailed themselves. And at the end, and the point was to have tomatoes thrown at me. And then Terry Bradshaw, who was the guest, I went over to the panel right after. He's like, "I don't care what you were doing. I thought that was funny." It's like you completely missed the point there.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So you're happy with that, and I'm happy to sit you right next to him. You could even reminisce about your days on Jimmy Kimmel Live. All right. Good. Let's keep moving. Anybody else? Any Terry takes? Are we okay with Terry there? Yeah. Okay, good. I feel like it's just it's like a lock solid. You put him in the lineup, you bat him fifth, and he's going to hit 270 with 31 bombs, 94 RBIs, get on base, and be a good locker room guy. You know what I mean?
More, I think he'd be a joy in person, much more than he is as an analyst on that 18-person studio show.
Don't get me started on it, Shek. I had a bit of a rant on that Fox show, what they do to Gronk, because they're grooming Gronk to replace Terry as the dumb guy.
Yep.
And it's like Strahan and all these other assholes just like he can't get a word out of his mouth without someone jumping in to just bury his ass. Terry can't read a teleprompter. We know. Just stop asking him to do it. Oh, you're doing it because you want him to be dumb.
Why are they forcing this poor old man into that spot in which he's clearly not good at doing? And you're absolutely right about Gronk, and let's not get into pregame shows because they're an atrocity across the board. I will say about Terry Bradshaw, because of his high-profile post-playing career, people do sort of forget the fact. In 1980, he was the greatest quarterback in pro football history. And
I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have.
1978. Well, let me just tell you. Here's a great bit of trivia if you don't.
Yes,
if people don't know this, Super Bowl era trivia. Drafted in 1970, his first 300-yard passing game was in 1978, or should I say January of '79 in Super Bowl 13. How crazy is that?
Dinner conversation. All right, Conor, you're up.
Okay. I think anyone who remembers last year knows that I like to kind of do a little bit of world building. You want it to feel authentic. You want these people to feel like they belong in your family unit. So just a quick little intro here. Cousin Skylar, the one who was fired from Hobby Lobby for using racial slurs. She's got her own apartment now and met a new man on Plenty of Fish. He's coming. He believes his curly hair was caused by chemtrails. He'll be wearing a bathing suit bottom and won't have shoes on. Welcome to the table, Mac Hollins.
Always some curveballs with Conor in this exercise. Mac Hollins, take us through it a little bit.
Well, I just think like when you sit down at a Thanksgiving dinner, there's always like the cousin who wants to bring the boyfriend, and everyone's just like, well, Jesus, what's this going to look like? And, because they're suspicious of the cousin in general. And so, the boyfriend is going to show up and he's going to be wacky as shit, right? No shoes. There's just going to be something about him that's just going to make everyone uneasy throughout the entire dinner. And so I think Mac is perfect for this.
Very nice. Mark, what do you think about that one?
Look
at some pictures of him. He looks kind of insane in some of these photos.
I was going through, based on what Conor's just done, and it's on brand. I know that Conor's dealing with the fact that he has an infant child that may wake up at any moment. So he did a nice job with the intro there. I'm looking at last year's list, and it's becoming more crystal clear to me which were the Conor picks.
All right, Mac Hollins, we'll just slot him in somewhere in the middle of the table for now. Justin. All right, up next, Dave Dameshek, your first choice for the table.
I hate to be persnickety. Can we ask
Sure.
Mac to wear some socks? Some of those nice woolly ones, appropriate for the season, all that.
Well, I think
the bare feet will put me off.
I think that's part of it, right? Is being put off, and that's why specifically why Mac is coming, because he will not wear shoes. Yeah,
other end of the table for Dave. Then I can't be near the feet and eat food at the same time.
I agree.
I'm a human being.
Totally.
All right. You know what? I am going obviously post shower Jalen Ramsey here because I like people. I guess sort of like Conor does. I like people who aren't just football players. I like people who have more colors in their rainbow. And I looked this one up because Jalen Ramsey, I learned on Sunday night, is steeped in zoology. As we're already talking about and everything else. Jamar Chase says he didn't spit on nobody. But then Jalen Ramsey said, oh, no, he did spit on me. And I do have to give a quick shout out to Jamar Chase for taking the gamble, for rolling the dice. Like, maybe the cameras didn't catch it. I'm just going to deny it at this point. Who knows? Maybe I'll get away with this crime.
That's all we had, yeah.
But then Jalen Ramsey said, spitting on somebody, that's for p***s. And then I had to look it up. And it turns out he is a well-rounded man.
Yeah.
Because I learned about this. I went into the AI. Bengal tigers are a part of what's called the Felidae. It's the family of mammals in the order Carnivora, colloquially referred to as cats or pussies. So there you go. So Jalen Ramsey is a wealth of information inside the lines and
That's
out.
what he
We'll
meant.
learn about animals. Maybe he'll tell us a sad story about turkeys.
A learned man.
That's right.
I like that. And you know what? He's going to have that's in the current events right now, right? So you're going to have that element of it too. And Terry talking about the old days, Jamar and Jalen talking about the modern era. I'm into it. This is 2025 football, Mark. A lot of spitting stuff.
It's it's contemporary. The conversation already feels like it could hit fever pitch territory depending on where people are sat.
Let's put Jalen next to Terry for the time being. And let's take a break, and then we'll continue to build out our Thanksgiving Day tape.
Okay, if you're tired of paying fees just to access your own money, right? It might be time to switch things up with Chime. Chime is changing the way people think about banking by keeping things simple, transparent, and focused on helping you make real financial progress.
Mark, you're a rundown guy, so I'm going to give you a rundown.
Cool.
Let me tell you how Chime works. I set up my direct deposit through Chime, and now I can get paid up to 2 days early. I have fee-free overdraft coverage, and now I can open up a checking account with no monthly or maintenance fees. I set up alerts in my Chime app to give daily balance updates and real-time transaction alerts, which really helps me control my impulse spending, my therapist says.
Yeah, that has been a problem for you. Chime is banking that actually works for you, not against you. Chime also gives you access to over 47,000 fee-free ATMs, more than the top 3 national banks combined. And with qualifying direct deposits, you're eligible for free overdraft up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. So far, Chime has spotted members over $30 billion, helping millions keep more of their hard-earned money, Dan.
Work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/HTC. That's chime.com/HTC. Chime feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
You know, Mark, you know that feeling when fall hits and suddenly life goes from lazy summer evenings, classic Sessler, to back-to-back everything between new routines, shorter days, and trying to eat something other than cereal for dinner. It can get chaotic, and that's why we love Factor.
I totally get it. Their chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals make it so easy to stay on track and actually enjoy something comforting and delicious. No matter how busy things get, Factor's got more variety than ever. You can now choose from a wider selection of weekly meals, including premium seafood options like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. They've also added GLP-1 friendly meals and Mediterranean diet options, Dan, packed with protein and good-for-you fats. And for the first time, they're introducing Asian-inspired dishes, about time, influenced by China, Thailand, and more, so every meal feels like a mini culinary adventure.
I love it. We use Factor in our house. We are a
Yeah.
Both parents are working. It's busy. My wife needs all the help she can get in the kitchen. I do a lot of grilling outside, but now we can kind of do a little hybrid thing. In fact, it kind of fills in the gaps. It's been such a lifesaver for us. And it tastes good, and it gets the variety. And the kids, shut up, kids. You'll eat what we give you. But sometimes we keep giving them the same thing, so you kind of understand in the back of your mind, I mean, how many times are they going to have the same 3 or 4 meals? No, Factor has changed all that. So very good stuff.
Nope, good parenting. Eat smart at factormeals.com/HTC50 off.
Shut up, kids!
And use code HTC50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Hello. That's code HTC50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor.
Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
All right, we are back. Yes, Thanksgiving. It's the holiday where Jim Nantz takes his single bed and his wife takes her single bed. They push them together. And they make sweet, sweet love. Hello, friends.
Tryptophan-induced lovemaking. The most vigorous of all.
Get those beds together. And then as soon as you're done, separate. Welcome back. Round 2.
Romo stumbles in. He starts making love to the wife. Like, what are you doing? I don't know where I am.
All right. Round 2. Marc Sessler.
Okay, I think with this one, I'm thinking about who I want to have like 9 beers with as the food is being served. And I think a very solid candidate who also, I think if you triggered him the wrong way, he's the guy that might get in a fight with someone verbally that creates hurt and a lasting scar at the table. That's part of the whole thing. Mike Vrabel. This is a big, burly, beautiful beer-drinking guy who is, I think, at a time in his life where he's probably never felt more joy and happiness for the future. So I don't know what we're going to get when we lather him up. He's a bit of a mystery. He's a bit of a verbalist. I think he could do anything, and I think that's why I'm attracted to the idea of Mike Vrabel at the table.
That's a great one. Shek, at our days at NFL Media, our shared days, and we spent many years there, we went to many events. One of my favorite events was the NFL Scouting Combine, because a lot of these figures, the coaches, GMs, etc., the owner, if you run the Raiders, get really loose, and you'll see things that you don't expect to see. One was Rex Ryan holding court at that burger joint. What was the fast food burger joint that everyone went to late at night?
Shake Shack.
Steak Shack.
No, Steak and Shack.
Steak,
I'm sorry.
Steak and Shake, was it?
Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
Steak
Bob
and Shake.
Knight's favorite restaurant, famously. Yeah.
Hollering, buying burgers, shakes for everybody. The incident of Mike Vrabel screaming at an unnamed person in a taxi cab, slamming the door shut, and then making his way to St. Elmo in the direction of St. Elmo is something that sticks with me. He's a guy that will get loose.
There's no Mark Sanchez without that incident preceding it, of course. I remember
Mike Vrabel walked, so Mark Sanchez can almost kill a driver of a truck.
I remember in the old Shula's steak restaurant that was in the hotel that we would all stay in, and pretty much it felt like all luminaries were staying in, and us. I don't mean to suggest we're luminaries, but I remember Belichick and his son with the mullet and Mike Lombardi.
Steve.
Yes, and Mike Lombardi all sitting there, long neck after long neck, and like, wow, they must really be getting trucked. And I couldn't help but admire the star of all, even though Belichick was sitting there, was Lombardi's hat. Where does he get those? Those wonderful hats, those hirsute brown hats that he wears all the time? They're wonderful.
You mean the general manager of UNC football?
That's the one.
The one that uses a typewriter?
Hirsute.
All right, I'll go next. I like Vrabel. Good. He's got, oh, shoot, we're getting a little low at the fireplace with wood. Send Vrabel out there to chop some damn wood. He'll bring back
trees down.
a big old bundle. All right, my next one, quick Hollywood story here. I don't have as many as I bet Dave does. He's got John Hamm on his show. He's in that fantasy league with Kimmel, all his buddies. He's worked. And late night, I got a few. lived in Hollywood for a little while. Years ago, my buddy Bob and I were invited to the house of a prominent television actor to watch football with his celebrity friends. To this day, I can recall Demi Moore leaning into my person to share her fantasy football starting lineup. It was wild. Anyway, at one point, the wife of the host of this gathering walks into the living room and sits down on the couch beside her husband. She's wearing full horseback riding gear. The breeches, the white shirt.
Whoa.
In my mind, she was wearing the helmet thing and carrying the beating the horse stick, but probably not. But that's how I pictured it. And then she sits down, and in the next 15 minutes, she just sat amongst the group, dead silent. Totally vacant stare. Totally absent, even though she was there. Eventually, she got up and walked away, legitimately disturbed by the incident. Anyway, let's welcome Aaron Rodgers and his mystery wife.
Vote! So we only need one seat, in other words.
Yeah, let's get to the bottom of this. Justin, we'll set up the chair, but we'll see what lengths he'll go to. He'll probably come down, I would think, Aaron, with the stomach virus the morning of or something. Because I think, Dave, are you of a similar mind that this screams publicity? This screams there is no woman? Or do you think there is a similar figure?
I find it weird, but I can't go as far as that that this is a Manti Te'o situation or anything adjacent to it, because why? What is the gain for him? That's the question.
Yeah, the motivation is strange.
Theory. Why? Yeah. To what end?
I would say, I'll offer this, Conor. I don't know what you think, but maybe as far as a guy who pretends like he doesn't like publicity and being in the different gossip rags and this and that, he actually loves it. He thrives off it. And what better way to get into it and say, Aaron Rodgers has finally tied the knot, and then not maybe thinking out the long game that he might get invited to a fake Thanksgiving dinner, for instance.
I mean, we all know that this is ChatGPT, right? And that there are people who have fallen in love with them, and you have to be careful because they run out of memory and then they crash. So your entire relationship just evaporates. You just have to watch that. But yeah, I wonder about that with Aaron very much. So.
I like that Conor just sums it up that we all know it's ChatGPT. The one thing at this table, it's probably going to be an empty seat, like you set a place setting for Jesus in certain households. I'm not sure she's going to make the human appearance here.
Yeah.
Dan, do you suppose that Aaron saw this was the reclamation project? I have to get the stink of the Jets off me, so I'm going to go to the Steelers for a real farewell, a bon voyage to pro football forever. Do you think he anticipated in November half of the pro football town calling for Mason Rudolph over him? Do you think that provides a good conclusion to his Hall of Fame career? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, Is that the energy of the Steelers? I know the Steelers fans are in a weird spot because everybody wants Tomlin out. And I feel like, not to get too sidetracked, but I feel like Rodgers more or less has given them exactly what if you watched Aaron Rodgers last year, he's more or less given them what to expect. You protect him. He's still got great accuracy. He could zip the ball in there. He can't move anymore. There's always a risk that he gets injured. And sure enough, now he's dealing with this wrist injury, and we'll see what's going on with that. I feel like, what were they expecting? I think it was like they were expecting or people were expecting to tie it back to the Jets, like the FU, look how stupid the Jets are. Look at Brett Favre going to the NFC title game with the Vikings. But Rodgers he's an old man. He's old.
I mean, if you anticipated him being a difference maker week to week in a positive way, then that's on you. I mean,
and he's much better than Mason Rudolph. So, shut up about Mason Rudolph. How many years to talk about Mason Rudolph?
I don't know. At this 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers versus Mason Rudolph, I don't think it's that distinct a difference.
Who do they have this weekend?
I don't know. The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. Do you think they have a better chance to win with Mason Rudolph via banged up Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he has I think a broken wrist, a left wrist. He already was. I think if you've been watching the games the last month or at least, or maybe even since the start of the season, as an old man is inclined to do. He understands his mortality better than a 22-year-old does. And so he has been prioritizing not getting smacked like Tom Brady did and Peyton did and all old guys did before him. And now he has that was before he had a broken wrist. How do you think he's going to play now if he has to fend off a guy charging hard at him? What do you think his reaction is going to be? Throw the ball away before anybody comes within 10 feet.
Or that late period Peyton Manning move where the pass rush would get to him and go, just slump to the ground. All right. So Aaron and his mystery woman. Up next, Conor. Who are we adding?
Okay. So again, kind of back to a familiar situation.
Sure.
At everyone's Thanksgiving table. I think everybody likes weaponizing small talk in an effort to determine deeply personal information about a deviant friend or relative, like, I don't know, pending paternity suits. So I invite Stefan Diggs to the table. Hey!
Is it? That's a great one. Diggs is going to mix things up. Is it true? Was this just like bullshit internet stuff? Or does he have 4 women impregnated at the same time right
true.
now?
Well,
is that actually true?
That's the basis for this entire thing. Yeah, so I hope it's
that
true.
is. Yeah. I mean, that's impressive.
It's very impressive. It's 4 buns in the oven. I don't know how you juggle it responsibility-wise other than
and one of them is
4 women.
The famous pop star Cardi B, right? Like,
yep.
How does she feel about that? I don't know. These are questions I would love. Put me next to
exactly.
Stefan.
Like how much fun would that be when you're just kind of making your way through a little broccoli and cheese casserole, and you're like, so tell me about the third time you decided to do this.
Here's another move.
6 months. Yeah,
I shared on the Monday show that Deb Hanzus, my mom, at the end of Thanksgiving dinner, out comes the little turkey ceramic plate, and it's those little Andes chocolates, the green chocolates, and that's it. And it's a coffee, and then you have your Andes, and then it's a wrap. We'll have a ceramic dish for Diggs, just all like magnums. Just like, hey, we're not going to say anything. There's no judgment. Some prophylactics.
You get it. We get it.
Yeah, we get it. All right.
I used the phrase earlier in this show, ironically, I said make love. But I asked the question last week on my show, and I take it to you guys now. Has any guy ever, even though we were all informed we're guys of a certain age, movies and TV shows when we were growing up, they couldn't say like, do it or screw or whatever they might say. So it was always like, let's make love. Do you think any guy has ever said unironically, let's make love?
No.
Our lovemaking session last night was splendid.
Maybe Graver.
Graver once.
No.
Sweater says it all.
Unironically? Definitely ironically, but not unironically.
Do you know what's one thing, some parlance for sex that's, I don't know why I spelled it out, that has disappeared from the culture from like the 90s, for instance? Nobody says, I slept with her anymore. Or we slept together.
Yeah, right.
You don't hear that anymore.
Yeah, that's gone.
It just got wiped. And it was kind of the classy way to do. We slept together. Does that not mean anything to you? Like, not anymore. I don't know what replaced it.
Well,
Tinder.
I'll tell you what replaced. Yeah, but we fooled around is too glib. Make love, little intense and weird, but now on the other side, fooled around.
And also,
Hooked up. We hooked up.
Yeah.
Hooked up.
So like fooled around kind of replaced slept with in the mid to late 90s, and then hooked up replaced fooled around. I don't know. Like maybe there's a new one out there.
Right.
I just want to
next on the
guarantee you
horizon?
it's a powerful experience. There's no fooling around when Dameshek's involved.
Oh yeah. Remember we saw Dameshek do stand up?
I was just going to say,
Comedy Store? Was it the Comedy Store or was it was it the Improv?
Dave, and you were opening for another
Rank, I think,
for Adam Rank, and you went up there and completely stole the show with a story of, I believe, swimming in the sea and then making sweet love to your wife at the time.
No, there was a line that Shek had in it. I don't know if you remember this act, Jack, but you were like, I was fully prone over my wife or something. It was like you said prone, and I was like, this is insane vocabulary.
Yeah, well, the water, I didn't know. Some people, including me, as it turns out, can hold seawater in their nasal cavity or whatever, and I didn't know that. And then several hours later, I was in the more passive lovemaking role, and then I took the position of the aggressor, and when I did, the contents of the sea held within my notes dumped all over.
This is not Thanksgiving table talk. Take the Andes out of here. All right. See, that's what. But when you bring Diggs, it brings this element of raw sexuality into the room.
Yep. That's it.
This guy.
It's a good guess.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Up next, Shek.
I'm going to go with George Pickens here because I have to get to the bottom of this. You know, I've heard the anecdotes that he's such a pain in the ass that a pro football team had to get away with him despite the obvious talent that he has been showing in Dallas and he showed in his previous pro football town. They had to trade him away. He was too much. You can't win with a guy like that. Never mind that same team brought in Darius Slay and Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of other guys who are renowned for getting along with everybody that they come in contact with. But George Pickens, I want to get to the bottom of how he is because I need to understand, famously, every team that's ever won a title in sports in the history of people, everybody on those teams always gets along beautifully. So I really want to see just how bad an egg this George Pickens.
They must burn you up, Shek, to see him.
It makes me sick in my balls.
Ass. And not just kicking ass, but the old rival Cowboys, the great rivals of the 70s and early 80s, Dallas, Pittsburgh, and now he's going off for like 11 for 154 and a touch in Monday Night Football. You don't need
Dave was right about everything. Dave has been right about everything 2 seasons going now about exactly how these unsatisfying seasons have unfolded.
One thing you're not going to be right about, Shek, because I was on your great program over in the Lebitard universe, Football America, and you like to predict the season total, win total for the Steelers, and I remember you came in higher than I thought. I think you said 11-6.
I am going to be wrong about that.
And I don't think they're getting there. I
think 9 is probably where they realistically they need to beat the Bears, or they're going to this Sunday. Or if you look through the record, there surprises on either side of things. I think they're going to shake out at 9-8 if they don't go to this. Is a big one. I know that we could play that game every week. That the next game is the biggest, but really they kind of have to have it. They're going to lose at Detroit. They have the Bills. They have the Ravens twice. So.
I like there's an explosive element here, Conor, now of multiple diva wide receivers at the same table.
Yeah, we're loading it up. I was concerned about that at the beginning, but I think it is now. It's not a glitch. It's a benefit.
It feels like our presence could fade quickly into the distance at this table based on.
We're at the kids' table.
We're just going to end up at the kids' table. Yeah, we're at the kids' table. All right, one more time around the horn, Sessy.
Man, I put it together a big list here. I'm gonna go friend of the show. Amy Adams Strunk.
Ooh.
We love her. This is a woman that, not unlike Terry Bradshaw, is going to, based on what I sense about her, show up like 7 sheets to the wind. And, I love the idea of another female presence with a strong personality and a drinking problem. We'll sit her. She won't even know what seat she's in, but we'll plop her down somewhere and just let her wax poetic as she does down in her little southern home.
Oh, baby. We are in lockstep, Sessy, because I also had Strunko. I love the holidays. It gives us reason to celebrate the finer things in life.
Give me a piece of that corn. I want to eat a corn on a cob.
Ooh, is that pecan pie? Put some extra whipped cream on that for me. Sugar.
Sit her down next to Stefon Diggs.
Oh, that is awesome. well, calm down there. Be careful. All right. That was mine too. So actually, we doubled up.
Yeah.
Do I need to add someone? I'm not going to. I think we'll be a little more intimate in the table. So let's move straight now to Conor.
Okay. For my last one, everyone has that cousin who says he's, air quotes, basically an Army Ranger, but in reality was just force passed through Eagle Scouts and wears a lot of camo. So we need an NFL player who kind of says he's a quarterback, but we all know what's going on, and that's JJ McCarthy. Welcome 9 to the table.
Oh, we get 9.
Hello.
Yeah, McCarthy strikes me as a stolen valor kind of guy,
A little bit.
Wow, I'm so great. This is Shek, like the 23-year-old who comes home. He just got an apartment in the city. He's graduated college. He's feeling pretty confident about his place in life and his opinions on things. and he just won't shut the hell up.
Yeah.
And he just knows everything and continues to espouse his opinions, even if you beg him to stop, and he keeps drinking. He keeps drinking too, because, I get messed up every night. But you know what? I don't even have hangovers. Like, last night was crazy. Oh, we went out to every bar last night, bro. We closed out every bar. This is just like college, man. It's just like going back to college. I love college. Like, that's what we have with JJ McCarthy.
The Wednesday Eve, right? The big tradition there. Yeah, I'd love to hear the conversation between JJ McCarthy and Trey Lance. Like, KOC and Shanny can't miss, except with us, right? We're the only two. We're the only evidence that they're not perfect human beings, you know? Kind of embarrassing. Misery loves company. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah. So we get 9 there too. And again, we double up there because we get JJ and we get 9. So we're going to get 2 versions of the same person.
Maybe he takes the extra seat at the table for Aaron
So
Rodgers'
cool that he
wife.
goes by 9. All right, Shek, last one.
All right, listen, not to get sentimental and otherwise, but I think we would all love to have our pal, the Pie Queen, Deeker, with us there.
Great.
The all-time greatest pie maker we ever, with all due respect to Hanzus Corp. and to the Handsome Company, which had some weird chicanery, I don't know, backroom deals made with the aforementioned Deeker, but one more pie off with the Pie Queen would be great. I would like to honor here our entertainment on every Sunday. I know people turn their nose up at the commercials, but I mean, when we were growing up, we had all those jingles at the top of sitcoms. Those have gone the way of the dodo bird, but they've been neatly replaced and maybe enhanced by prescription drug jingles. And I really think I'd like to bring the Jardiance lady. I take once daily Jardiance, and each day start. Like, she could do a song, and then we bring in the Sky Rizzy people.
Oh, great song.
That's right. Oh, you want to sing it with me? Can we, like, clearer so I can see, nothing on me is everything. Nothing is everything. My new favorite entry, because there apparently a lot of people have bad skin things. They get red on their hands.
Yep.
And this is a plague I didn't know about until about a decade ago, but apparently 90% of America has this condition based on the number of ads I see to cure it. And then the other one is there's a new drug called Cobenfy, which is, I think, helps people who have HIV, which is great to help, but it's like, imagine what could be Cobenfy, and it's really it tickles you. It's like, that's a fun song, and you come away from these commercials and the jingles thinking, like, well, I wish I were them. Like, they're having more fun than I am, even though in a lot of cases they're seriously ill. But that's the power of song, and imagine what they can do for our Thanksgiving.
Oh, that would be
table.
great. That would be
just
put them by a piano. We get them by the piano, by
That's
the fire, and. Yeah, the other thing about those commercials, like, then you get to the side effects, and it's very lowly stated. It's like, oh, your brain might explode and your asshole will be on fire for the rest of your life. It's like, oh, all right. I guess I'll stop itching my arm, though. It's like, uh-oh.
I submit that they need to start singing those warnings along with the rest in the jingle. Like, you could die or have a stroke or poop your pants. Like that kind of a thing.
Oh, that's a great table. I love this table.
Yeah,
I love it. 2025 NFL Thanksgiving table. Heed the call style. Shek, you've said it all. You've done it again. Throw a plug out there for your beautiful show, which I know one of us will be on this week, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. It's call it incest if you want, but that's what Thanksgiving's all about. Getting together with family. So we're gonna do a second time. Conor Orr. He's going to join us on Friday morning. We're going to settle on the most consequential games. Conor is going to give us some insights to see who's going to win those games, and we'll go from there. I suspect we'll be picking that Bears-Steelers game.
Looking forward to it.
Football America is the name of the show. I forgot to mention that. I'm a great showman, aren't I?
It's a great show.
Wherever you get your podcast, also on YouTube. Before we say goodbye to Shek and go to break and the TNF preview, let's take a look at the final table that we have here and see how we feel about it. Let's see. Ah, okay. We have a little versatility here, Mark, because we could put Vrabel at the head of the table, which I'm totally comfortable. He's got that big zaddy energy.
Yeah.
And then, but if you want the bad boss, you got Carly there. You got Diggs. I like this. Diggs separated from Pickens by Bradshaw, Peacemaker. Rodgers, we got an empty chair for Rodgers, whatever it is that he's got going on. You got Diggs in the corner with Mac Hollins. That could get explosive. We have who's that woman? Excuse. Oh, that's Skyrizzi.
That's Jardian's lady.
Jardian's lady.
Justin.
Very nice.
It's going to be a chorus. It's just going to be a whole chorus. Ultimately.
Yeah. We got 9, and then at the far end, that is
Strunko.
Ooh, pass the stuffing. All right, everybody. Thank you, Dave.
Happy for you guys. Proud of you guys. If I'm allowed to be proud, that's a little weird for me to say. I wish I could make love to all of you. But extra, I've got to go get to a picnic honoring Bob Redford. So, Dameshek out.
We would all sleep with you as well, Shek. All right, we'll be right back.
I bought a lot of glasses over the years, and I used to think you had to choose between style, comfort, or price. Turns out, you don't. Warby Parker changed all that. They make every frame with premium materials, so everything feels sturdy and looks sharp. Their in-house designs come in tons of colors, tons, and fits, which means there's a pair that actually flatters you. And with over 300 stores across the US and Canada, you can get styled by their friendly advisors or shop online from home, Dan.
Oh, I love that. I don't like leaving the house. And Warby Parker glasses start at just $95, including prescription lenses with anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. Eye exams start at $85, and you could save 15% when you grab 2 or more pairs. Free shipping, free 30-day returns. It's basically risk-free. I picked up a pair of the Elio sunglasses, and I'll tell you what. And I'm very particular about my sunglasses because I don't want to. Wrong pair of sunglasses on my face, I look terrible. I just look like a monster. It's got to be the right fit. And Warby Parker, they nail it with all the options they give you.
Those Elios look good on you. Warby Parker has over 300 plus locations.
Thank you.
To help you find your next pair of glasses, you can also head over to warbyparker.com/HTC right now to try on any pair virtually. That's warbyparker.com/HTC, warbyparker.com/HTC.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that compliment.
You're welcome.
What's good, y'all? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, SAG Master, and now your host of Free Range. This is where NFL meets real talk. Every week, I'm bringing you inside the game, from locker room stories to league-wide headlines. You want football IQ, locker room insight, and real conversations with the people shaping the league? Welcome to Free Range with Von Miller, where nothing is off limits and every down counts. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen and follow Free Range with me, Von Miller, wherever you get your podcasts.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Ah, yes. The iconic Rockettes. Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular. I was just in Midtown, as you know, during my New York City adventure, Ceci. And it's just me and Ceci now with Justin, as Conor had to jump off and do Conor things, and Dave is back in Shek World. It was outside Radio City Music Hall, and that screams the holidays to me. The Rockettes, absolute iconic high step, high leg dancers, kick dancers. And then I learned, Mark, that our producer, when I said, hey, just grab a little clip from the parade, Macy's parade of the Rockettes coming out of break, he had no idea what I was talking about.
I think I was just going to say that clip and the concept of the Rockettes feels very removed from today's society on any level. Like, I could understand why Justin would have no context for the Rockettes. It feels like we don't do that anymore. I wish we did.
Who's we?
I think it's dropped from the culture a little bit. Like, I can't remember the last time I actually saw a genuinely modern clip of the Rockettes doing anything. I mean, it doused in the 80s and 70s, though.
I think what's happening here is it's a tradition in my house to this day, just like it was a tradition growing up, and also grew up in the shadow of New York City, that you watch it. So we have this parade on every morning, and the kids watch it, and Santa comes at the end of the parade. It's wonderful. I love it, and it is very old school New York, that these things don't exist anymore. Like when I was in New York, I was really taken aback by like the buildings and how everything is old and institutionalized. And here in LA, they just knock down everything. So you're never in an old building. Tradition isn't a thing here, but tradition is a big thing in the Northeast. What were you doing in Texas growing up, Justin, on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we were never a big Macy's Day Parade household. Didn't really have it on the television.
You are aware of the parade, though, right?
I was aware of the parade and the Charlie Brown giant float balloon things and all that, but we never really had to it wasn't that we didn't sit down and watch it. Like, it wasn't on the TV in the background. Like, I was aware it existed, but never really saw much of it.
And I know a lot of this is the shattered notion of a monoculture in society. We don't have to, like Michael Irvin famously said, we lose in recipes. We don't need to lose all traditions of this country. Go watch the parade. It's boring as hell.
Here's when it turns chaotic. You know, like some of these, to your Charlie Brown float, some of these things are like 10 stories tall. And when like the head pops.
Oh, that was the best part.
Yeah, we want to see these things pop and just chaos rain down on the entire event.
I lived for about a year and a half on the Upper West Side, which is a prime right down, I think, Columbus Avenue or Central Park West. There was a part of the path of this parade, and people would legitimately get a spot at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then just stand there for a parade that starts at like 9 and is over at 12. And I'm like, same thing when I see people in Times Square on New Year's Eve. It's like, wait a second. So you got to your spot at like 2 p.m. You got to stay in that spot. You can't go to the bathroom, and you're waiting till midnight. I mean, who are these people?
It's that's a good question. I've done Times Square a couple of times on New Year's. You got to do that as a human. That's a wild experience.
Did you wear like a diaper? Like, I'm sure you were imbibing a bit. Like, what do you do when?
Well, we didn't I didn't do the stand around in one spot for hours. I mean, we.
Oh, okay. That's different.
It was like 6 of us. We were pretty sauced, floating.
Oh, baby. All right. Let's see. How sauced do we have to be for Thursday night football? When's the last time it was a good Thursday night game? Justin, can you look it up? The last time a Thursday night game was decided by, I don't know, a score? Because I feel like we're on a bit of a losing streak.
Off the top of my head, I would say it was right before the NBA gambling scandal went down.
Oh, it was. It actually was. We had banger after banger after banger, and then a gambling scandal broke out in professional sports in America, and then every football game has sucked in prime time since then, especially
Broncos.
The major partners. That was close, but that was
not a fun game to watch.
Was that 10-7?
3-point game between Broncos Raiders qualifies for what you're looking for, but it also does not.
The last good game, the last banger,
pre-scandal. Banger, Week 7, Joe Flacco, 342-yard explosion, 33-31.
That qualifies.
Steelers.
So we're due. Are we going to get it here? The Buffalo Bills 7-3 at Houston Texans 5-5. Bad luck for the Texans here. I mean, I guess it depends where you come down on all this, because Davis Mills is certainly kind of like what happened in Arizona with Jake Brisket and Kyler Murray. The idea of like, oh, Nico Collins looks like a alpha dog number 1 wide receiver again. Oh, they're scoring points. Everything is not such a struggle with Davis Mills at the control, and yet you're like, damn, I thought C.J. Stroud was generational, and now we're having this conversation. It's tough. But the bad timing here is if you do, ultimately, I think we all agree that C.J. Stroud is the guy you want behind center. Because of this concussion, he has some bad timing here. It's a short week. It doesn't look like he's going to be cleared. So we're going to get Davis Mills against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen coming off a 6-touchdown win over the Bucs.
Yeah, I think with the Bills, it came together big time against the Bucs, and they used a committee of a lot of different guys to step up at wide receiver. It's because it's a short week there without Curtis Samuel, without Mecole Hardman. Those don't sound like, without Dalton Kincaid, they don't sound like huge pieces, but they played a big role last week. And so you're leaning on guys like Elijah Moore, Tyrell Shavers, Khalil Shakir. And I don't know if it matters, because the way that Josh Allen played, you're going to need him to do it again against what might be the best defense in the league. I think it's in a week like this, it's a big night for like James Cook and Ty Johnson to see targets out of the backfield just to gain yardage and move the ball. But if you get what Josh Allen did last week, I don't know if he just moves into a zone where he's essentially unstoppable. But what could stop the Bills is literally this defense. And I do wonder if they've broken out of their hot and cold act, because this feels it's not a trap game at all. But the Texans defense can do a lot to take away things from any offense in the league. And they've done it consistently because that offense has not been reliable.
Yeah, their pass rush in particular has been fearsome, and I think one of the reasons why Allen is so special and one of one is they've run him less this season in terms of design runs than they have in the past, and I think that's a quarterback that's starting to edge closer to age 30, and you just want to pick and choose your spots when to use him that way. But he absolutely has the ability, as much as any quarterback in the league. I thought that was such a great Bucs example of, when he's in the Hall of Fame one day, and I do think Josh Allen is a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's games like that when it's just like, it's unfair that this guy can combine his ability to drive the ball downfield with accuracy, to be creative, to his ability to improvise, make plays on the run, succeed in the pocket, read defenses. But when he has to be a bad motherfucker and he needs to go run over somebody to get to that goal line, he is a terror. I know he's not as big as Cam Newton, because I feel like nobody was as big as Cam Newton, but it has that similar energy where it's like he's heading towards a linebacker and you're like, it's the linebacker that's in trouble here. So he can evade rushes and he can make plays with his legs. I wonder if you see more of that if Houston is able to get home.
Yeah, I mean, if there was some strategic approach to not use his legs earlier on in the year, we're getting to that time of the season where that is an absolute ingredient and game changer for them. And I think you're going to have to use everything that you have on offense in this game. I just want to see if that, because it was an explosive passing game, and you had Josh Allen throwing the ball and testing the field deep. Like, is that what they are now? It just looked different than any other week, or was that situational and it was a good 60 minutes? Like, I don't know if we get that answer against the Texans, but I want to see them and Joe Brady, the play caller, stay aggressive. It was a really different offense.
A couple of things I mentioned. Nico Collins. It's not maybe all the quarterback and the chemistry or whatever with Davis Mills or C.J. Stroud. They maybe figured out we should be moving around Collins a little bit more, and he's done a lot better, and they put him in the slot a lot more the last couple of weeks, and he's been much more involved with the offense. So keep an eye on them moving around Nico Collins. And yeah, I think, how does the Buffalo defense play? Like, I'm kind of with you. Like, I think the Texans are the Texans. I would say they're top 5 defense. I think they're limited by their offense. I think they are possibly a playoff team, but not a difference-making team. I want to see if the Bills are the Bills. Are the Bills now here for good? And again, it is a good test against DeMeco Ryans' defense, and we'll see. They have already ruled out Dalton Kincaid, Mecole Hardman with a calf, Curtis Samuel, elbow/neck, and we'll just see what they do with Keon Coleman, who's a healthy scratch on Sunday after missing a team meeting, and if he finds his way back in. But last Allen note, Mark, is he's also one of those guys. There's only a couple of them in the league at any given time that, doesn't matter who's around him. Like, he'll make it work.
Yeah.
And I expect him to do that. And I like the Bills in this game for that reason. 27-19.
I think one place where the Bills have obviously been very vulnerable is getting absolutely gashed on the ground. And this is a better matchup than going against the Bucs or other teams where, this isn't a latter day Nick Chubb. I think Woody Marks is an interesting running back as a rookie, but they just aren't able
Interesting,
to.
strong, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not able to really get that ground game consistently done. And so that helps Buffalo because that was like that defense is just not doing their job in the middle. And so maybe this is a more favorable scenario here.
All right, give me your pick.
I will go Bills 31-17.
Okay, there you go. Thank you to Dave Dameshek. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll be back on Thursday with a recap of this game we just previewed and also a preview of every game in Week 12. Look at us. We're here. We're to Week 12 now. Thanksgiving the week after, as you know, and that's a crazy week, and we'll get into all that. So the wheel keeps turning and turning. Don't forget about hitting the subscribe button on YouTube. Get us to 30K. Don't forget to, make sure you download. Make sure you're subscribed to the show on the audio side too, because that's very important. And don't forget to send in a question for the Heed the Love show with Mark and Billy over on the Patreon debuting next month. They need submissions. So send it in where Justin?
Heed the Call Football Show at gmail.com.
That's a long email address. But it makes sense.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry we didn't live up to your standards.
Well,
on that one.
Try again.
All right. Okay, till Thursday. Do what you must. Heed the call.
Hedley & Bennett is here to up-level your kitchen style and function. From aprons to super sharp Japanese steel knives, Hedley & Bennett makes premium gear that's built to last. You've seen their aprons on top chefs, in your favorite restaurants, and even on TV cooking shows. They've got the perfect gift for every cook, with special collaborations featuring the NFL, One Piece, Bob's Burgers, Disney, and more. For the rest of the month, head over to HedleyandBennett.com and get up to 40% off your order. Elevate your cooking experience with Hedley & Bennett today.
United Healthcare nurse Crystal checked in on a patient.
We do a routine call after surgery, and I could tell in her voice that she was struggling.
Crystal knew she needed help.
I knew that this is very serious. This is like septic. This is life-threatening.
And she knew just what to do.
And I called the hospital and said, she's coming in, here are her labs.
And got her the help she needed.
I see my role at United Healthcare as a life-saving role.
Hear more stories like Crystal's at UHC.com. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan area. Limitation and exclusions apply.